Mr. Zuckerberg, would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about. Your right to privacy, the limits of your right to privacy, and how much you give away.
Hope everybody is doing great. I know the entire country is saying what's done by WhatsApp with the recent updates is wrong. But then here's me saying that they are right. Well, if you don't agree with me, the comment box is always open. You can always leave a comment as to why you disagree with me. But hear me out and see if what I'm saying is right or wrong. Firstly, I'm not going to bore you with the technicality of the updates because most of you are already aware. But then I'm not going to tell you the number of users for WhatsApp as well. What I'm going to tell you is only about the business accounts. They have about 50 million business accounts throughout the world, out of which 15 million business accounts on WhatsApp are Indian. Even then, they had the audacity to say that here's an update. If you don't do it, you would not be able to access WhatsApp anymore. And if you agree, you're giving them access to your browsing history, you're giving them access to your bank details. In fact, you're giving all this just because Facebook or WhatsApp wants to give you better ads depending on your browser history. Yeah? But then have you guys ever thought the number of Facebook users in India is more than WhatsApp users? 310 million users for Facebook in India. Do you understand that if you're already using Facebook, you've already given access to whatever they're asking for? It's a second option for them just to try and tap into people who are not using Facebook and only using WhatsApp, which is not as huge as the numbers are portraying. Yeah? But then, did you know that India contributes to 30% of WhatsApp user base? But even then, Indians did not get an option to opt out of this update. But most of Europe did. In fact, the entire Europe did. Now, why would a company which has been running for so long and which is making so much money in India do such a thing? Wherein they are giving an option to opt out in Europe, which is a much lesser audience, and not giving an option to opt out in India, wherein we are much bigger audience. Did you ever think about that? That's because the government is allowing them to do that. Hold on. Now you might be thinking that here's another guy who is a Modi hater and wants to pin everything that's wrong on the Modi government. Just for once, let's look at it not from a political prism, but with the technicality. Now it's not a Modi government's failure. It's the failure of each and every government, collective failure of all these governments which have been in power since internet was used in India. Now, why is it that WhatsApp gave option to opt out in Europe? You know why? Because if you don't do that, the rules and laws that are set in Europe are so strong that either WhatsApp would be taken to court for it and they would be penalized, or somebody might get into prison. Well, when it's a corporate company, getting into prison would be highly impossible. But yes, penalizing would definitely happen. But does India have any laws like that? No, we don't. Did you know that if a company is holding on to my records for more than 5 to 6 years, even after I've stopped dealing with those companies, then it's a breach of law in Europe. But then how long can a company keep my documents in India? They can keep it even after I'm dead. There is no strict laws towards that either. You know what's happened since the update is done? The Information and Technology Department from India has written a letter to the CEO, global CEO of WhatsApp, asking them that why did you do this, that this is wrong, and it betrays a lack of interest and respect for the rights of Indians. Now that's the maximum the government can do. There's nothing much they can do. Yes, you might say that this is wrong, there should be laws in place, but then even the government knows that we have been dealing with a bunch of people who would rather go ahead and subscribe into prank channels or roasting channels and would not bother about channels which are giving them the right information. They would just say that this guy is a hater or this guy is a bhakt. Then they forget about it. Now you might be thinking, still, why am I saying that WhatsApp is right? The reason why I'm saying WhatsApp is right is because by what they did, at least we got an awareness that our Data Protection Act or our privacy is not being guarded well in our country. Now you guys might be worried about our data protection, about our privacy. Let me tell you this, there are so many medicines which are sold in India which are banned elsewhere. Surprised, right? Because again, the medical laws that we have are so bad. But then who's questioning the government? We just go ahead and put our votes and then we forget about it. Did you know that Vicks VapoRub, which is very easily available on counters in any medical store in India, is banned in most of the countries, especially to be used on kids? Most of the countries have banned it because it might cause TB, it might cause asthma. There are so many side effects of it if it's used on a kid or if it's used on somebody who's got some allergies. But then the medical laws are so easy that you can easily sell them in India, wherein it's still banned in America, it's banned in so many other countries. So the reason I say that WhatsApp was right is because it helped us to open our eyes towards how weak the law is in India, whether it's to do with our privacy or even our protection with health. I just gave one example. Once you finish watching the video, please go back onto the internet and have a check of number of medicines which are easily available in India but are banned elsewhere. Number of food items which are banned elsewhere but which is easily available in India. Number of chemical items. When I'm talking about chemical items, I'm talking about shampoos, daily usage products which are banned elsewhere because of bad usage of chemicals. But then it's easily sold on the counter in India. So the reason why I'm saying WhatsApp is right, so it's high time that we ask our government to please write laws, and they have to move with times. We can't work with laws which were done 20 years ago or 30 years ago because the world is moving at a faster pace. So the changes in law also have to be dynamic, and it should not be stuck in bureaucracy that you go ahead and introduce a law, by that time it's as good as useless. So let's thank WhatsApp for getting this into our notice, and I hope that you guys will share this video enough so that the awareness is created that the laws related to our protection and safety is very, very weak in India. Hope to see you all in my next video. Ciao till then.